There's a whole YouTube video on it. I'm going to go back and get it and put it on my website. Because I no sooner watch that, and then the next Bible quote I'm doing is it's talking about how the Oval Office is mechanized, how it's mechanical, and how it's going to malfunction. And I'm thinking, that's got to be George Bush and his little battery pack. They put this battery pack on his back, and he has this earpiece in his ear, and it's Karl Rove, I believe, or somebody talking into his ear, and he's actually giving speeches to the media. And you can watch him just stop and just kind of restate words and stutter a little bit, because he's waiting to hear what it is he's supposed to say next. Because he's got that little earpiece in his ear, the guy's telling him what to say. And so that's a battery pack thing he has on his back that allows that to happen. They're literally just telling him exactly what to say when he's in front of the cameras. And it's not because, well, we all know, Village in Texas has lost its idiot and he can't really speak and stand at the same time. It's because it's not even him. They just move them around. There's like 8, probably 12 different George Bushes. I mean, the real one, I've heard for years that he's just kept away, locked up somewhere because his brain is so fried from all the alcohol and cocaine he's done that they don't even want him near Washington. And so they prop up all these little clones of George Bushes in Washington, and they control them by these little battery pack things on their backs, and they do as they're told. They're chip implanted and controlled, and then they just repeat everything they hear in their ears, and really different. You'll catch some of this stuff, too. It's so Hollywood. I mean, sometimes like X-Files and some of these other shows that are coming out where they drop little gibs of information, and people think, oh, it's fiction, it's not reality, it's science fiction, and blah, blah, blah. This stuff's true. They always tell you what they're doing. You just have to look for it. They always mask it. They'll mask truth with lies and to keep people confused. And so I remember that the CIA has a long-standing rule, and I think it's pretty much a government rule. I don't know if it affects the White House. It doesn't affect them, but it does with the CIA and people in the intelligence community, that you can't talk about anything that you know or anything that you've seen, everything classified information, but you can do so in a fiction format. And so a lot of these people are the ones behind a lot of these movies and series coming out, because they'll tell you truths and they'll give you bits of information and they disguise it in fiction formats and in science fiction formats. So I never watch anything other than to see what it is they're trying to tell the people. You know, why would the CIA, and I knew this back in the early 90s, why would the CIA have a 20-year contract with Hollywood? To release different movies and stuff like that. Because they're leaking information. They're telling people themselves what's coming. They also have to condition people to what's coming. So they can't hide everything because they also need to prepare people for the things that are coming. And so it's kind of like a two-way sword for them. But then you also have people that are coming out of the intelligence communities and trying to warn people through fiction formats of things that are going on. So just weed through it, chew the grass, and spit out the hay. A lot of things with the mainstream media, I swear the History Channel spends a lifetime at my website, because every time I sit down on a weekend or something and turn on the History Channel, they have something of aliens, something they've picked off my website, and they're doing a whole show on it. And I have so much information on my website. Just amazing some of the stuff that they're coming out with on TV. And so they are preparing people for the things that are coming. But like I said, they're trying to control so they can make people fear, and then people can say, oh, you don't have to fear them, it's the government. You do need to have a healthy fear of aliens. They're not your friends. They do want to kill, destroy. They do eat you and your children. And so, they're not our friends. I don't know how to make that any clearer to people. You'll always be fighting the idiots. Aliens are our friends, not all are bad. So you do need to watch out for that. And they do have this thing coming out. I think even Bill Cooper warned of a fake alien invasion, and in his book, Behold a Pale Horse. And I've seen it, and I've seen the fake rapture, and even Divine Revelation of Hell. Mary Kay Baxter has a whole section in the back of her book, and I have it listed on my website at SherryShriner.com, or you can just Google Divine Revelation of Hell by Mary Kay Baxter. Google William Cooper, Behold a Pale Horse. Mary Kay Baxter talks about how she was given a vision of hell, and I don't necessarily believe that this might have been a vision from the Most High, but he allowed it to happen, Yahushua. But she talks about seeing these UFOs descending into hell and people getting off of them. And I've been warning the New Age for years that this thing where they're going to lift off their light body workers before cleansing comes on Earth and remove them to safety while the Earth's going a cleansing and stasis period. Be forewarned that this is you. This is all of these light workers and New Age gullible that are going to get on these UFOs. That's them getting off of them in hell. That's your future, folks. I've been warning you, don't get on those UFOs. It's kind of like their own little fake rapture where they're going to take their light workers off the Earth. They tell them in the New Age circles that they're going to protect them from the coming catastrophe, Earth changes, and the cleansing that's coming on the Earth. Yeah, they're really good. They protect them all the way to hell and make sure they get to hell safely. That's exactly what's coming. And they also want to mimic a real rapture. I'm not talking about, even they know, which is amusing to me, because years ago, a decade ago, when I was speaking out about the rapture, talking about there's no multi-million person rapture that's coming. It's only going to be the first 144,000. This will be the 144,000 off the Earth. Even Satan knows that, because he's been preparing his New Age people through Blavatsky and all them, which have been around forever. I think she was back in the 1800s. A massive disappearance of just over 100,000 people. And so even they know. And so that's why they've come up with their own thing where they're going to remove about 150,000 people of their light workers off the Earth, because they're going to mimic the rapture of the 144,000 off the Earth. And you can see where the churches have taken this whole thing and have decided, we're all going. Everybody in the church is going to be raptured before the tribulation starts, and we're very close just to getting towards the middle of the tribulation period right now. We're very close towards the middle. And so all of you pre-trib rapturists, you're already too late. You've already missed it. I don't know how to wake them up. I've tried. So right now you'd really have to be shooting towards a mid-trib rapture if you really want to hold on to that theory, because it's all you've got, because we're almost towards the middle part of the tribulation period now. The fourth seal's about to be broken soon, and when that is, it's going to be complete chaos on Earth. And so right now you've got three horses working in the background. You've got the white horse fighting against the red horse and the black horse. But when the pale horse arrives, there's no hiding it, because 2 billion people are going to be dead. And so pale horse is this Sananda, this Jesus that's coming. And so if they're going to have a fake UFO invasion, it's going to happen soon if Sananda arrives this September. Just giving you a heads up that he does have an out. He can't arrive this September. If he doesn't arrive this September, then it'll be next year. In the meantime, got another year. That doesn't mean it's going to be a good one, because by this time next year, millions of Americans are going to be out of jobs. There's going to be no food. It's going to be a disaster. And so just think from now until this time next year, how much life here in America is going to change, and not just in America, but around the world. Everything that happens here happens in Canada, and vice versa, and just pretty much in Europe as well. Each country has the same goals and agenda, and each country is at a different part of it. And so if you want to see how bad the police state's going to get here, look at what's going on in Europe now. Look what they're dealing with in Europe. It's going to get that way here, because we're behind and we're ahead in different aspects. Everybody has the same sheet, the tally sheet, and every country has to get to the same point, the end goal on that sheet, and every country's at a different spot on it. And so eventually everybody will be up to par and in alignment with each other. And so, everybody's got it. The same thing going on now. With immigration problems, with economic problems. I was reading an article where 4 out of 10 children in Germany are begging strangers for money for food. And so it's getting bad in various places around the world. And the food lines just now the food centers starting to line up in America. When you see it hitting the small towns, that means the manufacturing jobs have been closed. And, it's hitting small town America. And small town America has always been the backbone of America. It's always been the manufacturing jobs. It's always been the farming jobs. And so, a lot of that closing down, it's not going to get any better. It's not going to return to what it was. And so don't hold on to hope. Don't think, okay, this will get better next year. It's not going to get better. Okay, it's just going to keep going, get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So the one thing you need to focus on is your relationship with the Most High, what kind of relationship you have with Him, and working and building